Hello, Fatherly. I'm Josh Duhamel, and I have played many roles in my life, but I think my favorite role of all is as a father. We were sitting on the bed and we called the nurse and she told us that we were pregnant and we'd been trying for a while, and it was like pure joy. So I thought for sure I was gonna have a daughter because I have 3 sisters. I had a female cat, female dog. There's females all around me, so I figured I would just have another one. And when she said boy, I was like it didn't register. Yeah, one of the greatest moments of my life. I remember what that felt like. I was like, I'm not old enough to be a dad. Wait, I am well old enough to be a dad. Dude, you're old enough to maybe even be a grandpa at this point. You know, when they're babies, it's not as big of a deal because they can go with you everywhere. They're not in school. They don't have any friends. They kind of go where you go. And they grow up a little bit, start having friends, start getting into 2nd, 3rd grade. My son is in now. It becomes much harder because they have their own little lives. You can't just be pulling them out of school. You can't just be taking them wherever you go. So a lot of my decisions now are based on where it's shooting and how it's going to affect my son. I wanted to be a dentist. And then I moved to California and I got jaded and I decided I didn't want to do that. The truth is, I think I wanted to move to California telling my mother that I was going to go to dental school, but I think I secretly wanted to do what I'm doing now. Didn't actually tell her until I was cast on All My Children in 1999. You know, there are different trains of thought when it comes to this. Some people are anti showing their kids faces on anything, which I totally respect. But at the same time, I'm not that worried about it because I feel like this is my life. This is what we do. You know, this is, you know, he's gonna have to acclimate to that because this is our world. And so I want him to be comfortable in that world, not get weirded out by some of the flashing lights and some of the craziness that surrounds it. And, you know, I feel like he's done a good job so far of being well adjusted to it. I remember when he was young, he'd be like, this is my dad, he's on Transformers. I'd be like, dude, you can't be introducing me like that. He's very curious about it. I'm definitely not gonna push him towards it anytime soon because I think it'll be something that he's gonna have to do on his own. He takes drama class. He played King Triton in The Little Mermaid recently, which was pretty hilarious. He's not impressed at all by what I do on screen. I try to show him a new movie. He's like, can we watch something else? He was really upset last night when he couldn't come to the Shotgun Wedding premiere. He really wanted to come and see that. I said, dude, it's rated R. You can't come to this movie. I'm gonna have to show it to you when I get home. Well, I showed him The Shining the other night. It didn't go over well. I'm kidding. I didn't really show my son The Shining. So I knew that I was meant to be a father. One thing that I've really sort of learned after having become a father is that it's not as much about what you tell them or try to teach them, but how you behave, because they watch you so closely. He watches how I treat other people. He watches how I make my bed. He watches how I take my dishes to the sink. But you can tell them, put your dishes in the sink, but if you don't put your dishes in the sink, they're not gonna do it because, well, dad doesn't do it. So I've had to learn to be a really good example because my kid has watched me very closely, and I think that is something that I've really learned over the last several years.